this information. Not intelligence officials within the intelligence community currently, but former intelligence officials are now saying that. And it said one official is quoted saying Joe Biden's son has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. I mean, come on. Nick Shapiro, a former top aide to, of course, the notorious traitor John Brennan, provided Politico with a letter on Monday. He noted that the IC leaders who have signed this letter worked for the past 4 presidents, including Trump. The real power here, however, is the number of former working IC levels. So they're saying that the intelligence officials, former intelligence officials, have somehow more validity and some more authentication than the people currently in the intelligence agencies, which I find very weird. Just discrediting everything. And I don't understand why the FBI has had this information for so long, but yet continue to ignore things like this. Hunter Biden, of course, with a crack pipe, and now a photo that shows Joe Biden meeting with Hunter's alleged business partner from Kazakhstan. So basically, in these emails, it reveals that, and not only that, but the New York Post has been censored for doing real journalism, and we see that over and over again, as we did with WikiLeaks, with Julian Assange. We saw him be censored because of real things, and really shop confirmed that he received the laptop and the hard drive, and there's multiple letters and different various evidence that in fact turned Hunter the hard drive over to a repair shop where Giuliani obtained it. Just continue to see different various photos of Hunter and looking in a stale state, I would say, under the influence of drugs. Of course, information earlier this year came out that he was doing cocaine at a New York strip club, or a DC strip club, I believe, New York or DC. I'm not sure. I have to go back and check that. But Johnny just yesterday said he did give the alleged Hunter Biden hard drive to Delaware police. I mean, what else way are they going to do it? And it's now in the FBI's hands. And if the FBI is going to do anything, which I highly doubt, I believe that the Republicans are making the right approach by going through the Department of Justice, who's more of a reliable source of law enforcement and of actually investigating things, unlike the FBI, who has been discredited because of people in the CIA and the FBI like John Brennan and so on and so forth, James Comey, and people like that. So they have been discredited. So I think Giuliani is going through a right approach, but it also is a wrong approach. I would have turned it over to the DOJ, but who can you really trust at this point? Giuliani also confirmed that, in fact, the Hunter Biden laptop did have allegations of stored child porn, and some even say child torture of Chinese children. The underage stuff has been given to the police, Giuliani stated. We went there in person. So this is all coming out, and it's all coming ahead, and the Republicans want an investigation through the DOJ, FBI, or the police, whoever they can really get to do an investigation. And now they're continuing to deny it and say that it is a Russian information, Russian disinformation hoax, as they always say. And also, Jack Dorsey continues to censor the New York Post and flag them for doing real journalism. Actions were taken with respect to 2 New York Post articles that were first tweeted this morning. And then Jack Dorsey comes out and he apologizes our communication around the actions on the New York Post article was not great, and blocking URL sharing via tweet or DM, zero context as to why we're blocking, unacceptable. And this is him, and of course, just following this, Twitter got shut down, and I believe it was a hack. They deny it was a hack. I do believe that Twitter was hacked because of this, or they were wiping accounts, wiping people's accounts out, and wiping out the information about Hunter Biden. So we continue to see mass amounts of censorship to real journalists. That the truth hurts, folks, and they want to keep this away from the media eye, and I predict in tomorrow's debate that will continue to happen, where they will continue to divert from it. Obviously, the president's going to bring it up, but I believe that the mainstream media, DNC-funded, communist China-funded media will continue to divert from this story, this huge bombshell story, and continue to abide by the DNC and the Communist Chinese party. So I really think that they will continue to divert, and deny, just kind of like they did with the Anthony Weiner thing that kind of got swept under the rug. But this time, I think it's at such a huge level and so close to Biden himself that it's going to be hard to hide this story, hard to put the censorship on the story. So I believe it will get more traction than the Anthony Weiner scandal. Also, duly noted, I wanted to show you this video with Dinesh D'Souza talking about science and enable this kind of criminal activity that is going on within the Democratic National Convention. I mean, obviously, Bernie was very widely popular compared to, of course, Biden at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year. So why did Biden all of a sudden just jump up all of a sudden? It's really strange, this whole thing, and we continue to see this pattern with the DNC. Obviously, the Republican Party is corrupt. Both parties run deep in global corruption with the national banks, banksters, George Soros, influenced parties, both parties. Also, Mnuchin with his connections, Soros, so on and so forth, and Goldman Sachs and big banks all play a role in both parties, and a little bit in the Trump administration, not as much as it previously was with the people who he originally appointed in his first initial cabinet when he was elected. Now he's kind of drained the swamp, so to speak, within his cabinet, and hopefully they can do that within Washington, D.C. But we continue to see corruptions on both sides, but the DNC seems so damn corrupt. How could people possibly morally stand for this? And they always want to preach about morals, but yet they're allowing, enabling child pedophilia to happen, possible child pedophilia. I'm not going to make any accusations and say that they're guilty, but possible child pedophilia. And Biden continues to deny that there's any connection between Burisma, Ukraine, and China to his family, and continues to say that it's bullcrap. But we all know that the evidence is coming out and it's not looking good for Biden, and they need to launch an investigation, and the time is now to act before the election. 2 weeks until the election, I don't think they're going to get any personally, because they have so much to already tackle. We have the Supreme Court justice being confirmed, as well as trying to wrap up a stimulus package, which also doesn't look very good for Mitch McConnell or Nancy Pelosi. Potentially both those guys, that guy and that girl, Mitch McConnell, the old swamp train, old fart politicians, are probably most likely going to be voted out in November. And it also makes the Republican Party look bad when McConnell's pushing for less stimulus and the president's pushing for more stimulus, and now people will feel inclined to maybe not vote for Mitch McConnell or some of those Republicans who are against a bigger stimulus package. So this all remains to be seen, as tomorrow we will approach the debate, and we hope you can join us on our show this weekend, kind of doing a recap of the debate as well as prepping for our long 4-hour broadcast on election night in 2 weeks here, and we hope you can join us there. I expect that the president will be witty and very on his game tomorrow night, better than the first debate. I'm hopeful that will happen. I'm hopeful he'll bring up the Hunter Biden story, press Biden, let Biden look like an idiot, and go from there. Anyways, I am Daniel Chico with the FightForLiberty.com.